before I dive back into the game, I want to remind folks about our fundraiser for medical aid for Palestinians. If you'd like to donate to our fundraiser, then please type in the command !Palestine in the chat, and that will bring up the link to our fundraiser. If you do donate to medical aid for Palestinians via our fundraiser link, then please let me know in the chat so I can give you a shout out and thank you for your donation, as the notification sound doesn't work on my end, and I want to be able to make sure that I thank people who donate. We are £70 away from our goal, which is not much at all, so every little helps. If you are able to send a few pounds our way, we would really appreciate it, but no worries if you're not able to afford that at the moment. You're always here with a huge collection of stickers, then, Born. I love it. I love to see it. Okay. Apologies in advance. I feel like I have a bit of a scratchy throat today, so apologies in advance if I'm a bit like needing to take a lot of breaks and drink some water and all of that fun stuff during today's stream. Actually, let me... Good reminder to take my inhaler. Okay. Cool. Let's dive back into Control. So I think that we were on the quest My Brother's Keeper, which is that we are now looking for Dylan because Marshall, the head of security, gave us the information that we need to search for Dylan, Jesse's brother. The whole reason that she's come here to the Federal Bureau of Control is to find him. So, pretty curious to find out what's going on there. Marshall also told us that Dylan, of course, was captured as a child by the Federal Bureau of Control, and he was a prime candidate, so he was being groomed to be director, actually. And now, of course, Jesse is director, so that's quite an interesting dynamic as well. Then Word says, if I can't through the link, can I do it through bits and whatever percentage Twitch doesn't take? Donate to medical aid for Palestinians, you mean? If you aren't able to donate through our link, then... Oh, this is a good question. I mean, you can... If you're not able to donate through our link, then you can... And you want to donate to medical aid for Palestinians, then you can always go straight to their website and donate to them directly. Our link is kind of like, you know, our specific fundraising effort for them. I think that with bits, I'm not 100% sure of how we would calculate what amount of money that is, like, minus the percentage that Twitch takes, and then we could donate it on your behalf. But I think that that is a bit of a faff, as much as, you know, we are doing this fundraising effort and we appreciate people donating through our link, because then we can kind of keep track of how much we have been able to fundraise for medical aid for Palestinians. Equally, if you are able, you know, if you can't donate through the link for whatever reason, then probably the best thing to do is to donate to them directly. It's a good question, then, Born. Should have thought about that before, but I think that might be the best answer that I have for you. Okay. Before we find Dylan, Emily also asked us to look for her friend, a researcher named Dr. Underhill, and obviously I'm pro Yuri between Jesse and Emily, so I'm gonna prioritize this side quest, and also I like prioritizing side quests before the main quest. Jesse learns of the active threshold below Central Research and the researcher named Dr. Underhill working there. Yeah, let's see. So I'm at executive right now. Dr. Underhill is below Central Research. So does that mean I have to go to the research department? Let me check my ability tree first, though. Launch grenades and rockets back at the enemy sounds pretty useful, so I'm going to get that. I don't really ever use melee damage because I never want to get that close, so I'm not super invested in upgrading that. Okay. Maybe I'll save some to upgrade energy and health. I know some streamers don't like getting bits because of that, but sometimes that's the only option for some people. Yeah, that's fair enough then, Warren. I mean, we don't really mind at the end of the day, like, whatever you're able to do. I think that bits go to us, though, right? And obviously we appreciate, like, you know, subscriptions, bits, all of that kind of stuff, and all of the support that you give to our channel. But in terms of the fundraiser for medical aid for Palestinians and the fundraising efforts, you know, that's like, it's not about us, it's about supporting them. And so in that scenario, like, I would much prefer that you just directly don't donate to them. If you're not able to donate through our link, you know, we're doing the fundraiser and we have the link because we, you know, try to use our platform, however small it is, to point people in their direction and help kind of raise a humble amount of money for them as we're able to with our small platform. But like, that's the reason why it's like, it's not about us, right? It's about them. So yeah, appreciate you asking, though. I hope that that is helpful. If people have any more questions or clarifications, then we could try and kind of like figure that out. I think a part of my fatal flaw as a streamer is that I don't actually understand a huge amount about how Twitch works, which, you know, I should take more time to understand like how Twitch works. That's definitely not good, but it is what it is. I know my flaws. Okay, I wanted to fast travel. So, yeah, I want to get down to Central Research and find the doctor below Central Research. So, let's head down there. I guess, yeah, let's go to the Central Research point. Is the reason that you can't donate via the fundraiser link because of not having PayPal? Because I think that donations operate through PayPal mostly, right? Locate Dr. Okay, sorry, jump scare. Fuck. Oh fuck. Okay, well that went sideways fast, huh? I think that introduced a new enemy, but also I probably want to keep more distance if I'm going to start using the launch grenades back at people thing. I like that power a lot. Fuck. What the fuck is that creature? And how can I dodge that attack? Fuck. What the hell? Jeez, I have no idea how to dodge that thing. That is so intense. Okay. Well, it's a good thing this building respawns because the amount of property damage in here. Well, I mean, fuck the FBC. They can take the property damage, but... Locate Dr. Underhill below Central Research. I'm trying. This is taking me down, right? Yeah, I need to get lower. It's definitely, the brutalism of this building is definitely interesting as well. I know it was like 1964 that the FBC was founded, and brutalist architecture was invented in the 1960s, right? But this is very, quite eco-brutalist, which is funky. Not like an architecture expert, but it's an interesting choice. For who among us has touched the foundations of this world and deemed them solid? Dr. Theodore Ashe. Okay. Oh, there is a document. Oh, and something else over there. I don't really know what happens when you turn those things on, because it doesn't seem to affect anything, but okay. Dr. Darling's office, dimensional research. Okay, how do I go lower? Dr. Underhill's lab. I guess that secret corridor looks like it would be the right place. Acoustic research. Have I been in these labs yet? No, it looks like I haven't. Okay. Let's look at some of these documents then. Song questionnaire. Answer questions within 2 minutes of listening. Did the song elicit any particular memories? If so, elaborate. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear at your mind during the song? If so, elaborate. Provide a detailed description of your current surroundings as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what do they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose one from each of the following pairs. 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, burn out or fade away. Hubert, Black Rock Analysis. Hi Carla, does it strike you as odd that Darling insists on having us appear in those bizarre videos of his? I mean, we just stand there. He doesn't even let us have lines or anything. Don't get me wrong, beats a day in the lab. Plus, it's always great to work with you. Oh, yeah, I finished the comparative analysis of the two BlackRock samples you sent, the Prism or whatever you called it. I filed them in the usual place under C for Carla, a handy mnemonic device, right? Haha. Anyway, let me know if there's anything you want to discuss about the data. I'll gladly explain. Maybe we could chat about it over some drinks or dinner even. I can't remember the last time I had a good steak. Maybe we could go together and work sometime? After work sometime? I'm free tomorrow. All the very best, Hubert. Well, Hubert has a huge crush on Carla, clearly. Enemies with distorted invisibility would usually require an eye for that spot looks funny. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to dodge their, like, crazy attacks as well. Everything was just happening so fast. Okay, don't know what that did, but I got a piece of multimedia. Funky music. Okay, that's a song. I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes and listen to the song, but it's a song. Wow, okay, so the person just sits here in front of these enormous speakers in this soundproof room. Okay. There was once in Resident Evil Revelations 2 that does the same, but if you got too close, your vision gets worse and they were a pain to fight. Oh, that does sound like a pain. Okay. Oh, fuck. Come on, you guys. I'm just trying to find my girlfriend's friend. Okay. Something's definitely going on here. Does this just take me back to Central Research? Hold on. Oh, can I get up there? Nice. Okay, so I think perhaps in order to get below Central Research, there we go. Okay. Sorry, that was dicey. God, this is some dangerous fucking climbing you're doing, Jesse. Down climbing even, but still. Living life on the edge. Well, this is certainly below Central Research, so I think we're on the right track. Those are toilet. This is a bathroom. Okay. Did that singer sound familiar to you by any chance? Not sure. I was also mildly concerned about copyright, but also I didn't want to spend 5 minutes listening to it. Okay. This is creepy. It's definitely gonna be some baddies down here. you guys okay? Are we good?
Carefully, ma'am. Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first. Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
Okay, well, they seem to think that all of this is fine, I guess. Okay, well, this is what it is, you guys. This is where we're going.
This is nothing. The clocks? No, that's weird.
Excuse me?
What's weird?
Are you lost?
Shut up.
No, I'm here because my girlfriend asked me to find you. Girlfriend, you guys met today. Listen. Hello, Raya. How's it going down there? Enjoying the mold so far? Settling back into life at the old FBC? I also wanted to ask how your coffee with Emily went. She's a star on the rise, incredibly bright, extremely intuitive. But I want to hear what you thought of her. I think you two could be very good on a project together. Could learn a lot from each other. Let's get together and chat about it soon. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. I'm sure you can't think of anything besides the mold right now. You were always a woman of focus. I always admired that about you. Talk soon, Casper. That's from Casper Darling to Raya Underhill. Mold threshold. So, you want to know how my mold research is getting on, Casper? Here it is. Microscopic organisms similar in appearance to construct the architecture of the mold. I do not understand if these redacted are the original disseminators of the mold or are bitten by some fungal infection. The mold is the most prolific and durable organism I have ever seen. I theorize there is a mold source located somewhere on our side of the threshold, rooted here to accelerate growth in our dimension. I refer to this yet unknown source as Mold 1. The mold produces an enticing aroma to encourage human consumption of itself. Okay. It propagates in the chest cavity and quickly subsumes the entire body, seizing control of motor functions. This behavior was not observed when I first arrived, which means the mold has adapted to our presence, targeting our biological imperatives as a way to spread. It is truly an ingenious little thing. A full report will be ready soon. Keep your slacks on. Okay. That sounds really scary, and I don't like it. I don't like something being called the mold and it can take over my body. Thresholds Utility Research, Alternative Perspective. Dr. Darling's recently penned essay titled Redacted contains some glaring omissions that I feel I must shine a light on. Firstly, the entire premise of the essay is that the quarry threshold is beneficial to the Bureau, while the mold is actively hostile, to use his words. We cannot determine the worth of these dimensions and their life forms using bureaucratic definitions. Secondly, the mold is much more beneficial than some rock. If the redacted creating the mold were reconfigured in their purpose, the structures they could build would rival the greatest skyscrapers. The mold's resistance to various strains of disease we've attempted to introduce could be derived into redacted. Yes, admittedly, this application is more difficult than picking up a Bureau rock and gluing it to the wall, but I pause to wonder when the Bureau lost its eagerness for a challenge. That's from Dr. Raya Underhill as well. So she's researching the mold and doesn't seem to like Casper Darling very much, which endears me to her immediately. Hi, Raya.
Do you normally barge into people's private workspaces?
She clearly doesn't know who she's talking to.
Shouldn't you be in a safe room? Why? Because of those hiss things the Rangers keep going on about. Haven't you people sorted that out?
Why is she British?
The situation down here could spell doom for the Bureau.
You mean this mold?
Correct. Perhaps you could help me. I require samples of various mold strains, and the mold has made the environment far too dangerous for me to fetch them myself.
Really? Mold samples? I thought this could spell doom.
It could, and it will, whoever you are. The mold is spreading. We need to find the source before it spreads too far.
And these samples will do that?
No. Samples of 5 unique strains, when blended properly, will allow you to travel deeper into the pit where I've pinpointed the approximate location of the source of the mold.
Okay. So what do these samples look like?
Similar to the one on my table there. I've made a list of the samples I need. Here. You'll find them throughout the threshold.
I'll take a look. My name's Jessie, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
Wow, okay. I changed my mind. She's very rude. Collect 5 mold samples for Dr. Underhill. Type A grows near fresh corpses. Type B grows near toilets. Type C grows near televisions. Type D grows near staircases. Type E grows near the pit. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. She's rude. I don't like her. Bureau research.
Have you worked at the FBC very long?
Not long enough to understand their inane methodology. They want me to solve the mold, but how is one to solve anything when the basic molecular structure of this fungus is an utter enigma?
Oh, sorry, are you asking me?
It's rhetorical. The Bureau wants to control, not comprehend. But to answer your question, I'm a seasoned threshold researcher that's been brought in on a provisional basis to resolve this matter.
That's all you had to say.
The Bureau wants to control, not comprehend. Now, I can agree with you on that. I do think you need to change your, work on your interpersonal skills a little bit, though, because you're quite condescending and quite rude.
What have you learned about the mold?
Firstly, the term mold is a gross oversimplification used only to ease communication. That said, the mold itself appears to be the product of complex microorganisms. They spin the mold, building structures like minuscule cities, swiftly colonizing our dimension, and the speed of these tiny engineers relative to their size is simply staggering.
So it grows fast.
If you're not going to listen, then why did you ask?
Listen, science communication is a thing for a reason. You need to talk to normal people in a normal way. And not assume that they, understand whatever the fuck you're talking about. Hi, Fia. I think she needs to control her attitude problem. I agree. I am only half here because I'm working, but I really hope you're enjoying Control. Thank you. I am loving Control. I really love this game. I think I'm about halfway through at the moment, and you know, I said this last stream that I don't want to say this prematurely, but my feeling from my heart right now is that I love this game. Love this game. So I am thoroughly enjoying it. Thank you. I hope that work is going okay. Appreciate you lurking. Okay, let's ask about these thresholds.
So the mold is coming in from where?
We don't have a name for the threshold dimension. The origin point has been identified, but the density of the fungus makes it impossible to enter. Even if we could, I speculate that we would only find a reality entirely subsumed by the fungus. Total decomposition.
It's weird how excited she is, right?
What do you know about the hiss?
How could I know anything about an entity I've only just learned of? This is exactly the Bureau's problem. My work is always interrupted by these superfluous matters.
Calm down. Just keep your HRA on and I'm sure you'll be fine.
This crude thing. I thought it was Darling's idea of a practical joke.
Not quite. Just keep your head down while I handle the hiss.
This is why people hate scientists, you guys. It's when they're weird and condescending like this. But she is a quite interesting character in terms of her relationship to the Bureau and how she doesn't seem to particularly like the Bureau or Casper Darling. Yeah, and obviously that line, the Bureau wants to control, not comprehend, is really interesting. I think, again, it feeds into the wider, what I feel like my wider political analysis of this game would be. I'm so relieved because I adore this game so much and I really wanted you to like it. Well, I love it. Check in with me again when I've finished it, but I think that there's a very minuscule chance that that changes for me.
I need to get going.
Try not to transport any spores outside the infected areas.
It's funny because the first that first Alan Wake was a little bit of a slog for me. I'm very happy to be playing this game because I'm really enjoying it, and if it's true that Alan Wake 2 is building off of Control in a certain way and has better vibes than the first one, then I think that puts me in a much better headspace going into it.
So sweet down here. Suddenly I'm really hungry.
Yeah, have you...
I
Oh
wonder
my
how
god.
this mold tastes.
Stop it. Have you eaten, at all today, Jessie? I haven't seen you eat. And it's been a long day. I've been playing the game for a total of about 9 hours playtime, so that means you haven't eaten for 9 hours. Okay. Pink Flamingo. Agents noticed a transient commonly found outside... A transient? Noun? A transient? Commonly found outside the entrance of the Bureau headquarters would carry the item and loudly claim to be responsible for the lack of inclement weather. The frequency of these claims attracted the personal interest of Dr. Darling. In interviews disguised as casual conversations, the transient reported that the item gives me clouds when it's hot and sun when it's not. An event of note occurred during a heavy downpour when the vagrant was witnessed performing a possible ritual with the item. Dr. Darling reported a wait of redacted seconds before the rain stopped. The vagrant was seized the next day. After redacted, he was found to possess no redacted and was released. The item remains in Bureau custody under suspicion of alerted status, though this still has not been proven. All known variations of identification formulas have failed to elicit a response from the item. Right, so... A transient and a vagrant are terms that are being used as nouns because they're being used to describe a houseless person. That is what is happening. And the Bureau kidnapped a houseless person under suspicion of supernatural activity, which is obviously horrible, but again, this is feeding into, again, the political critique of the FBC as an institution and how violent it is as an institution, how it seeks to control and police the paranatural, and how this is related to kind of domestic political violence and international political violence. That's horrible, though. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Fia, I was gonna say, if you're still listening, that I am definitely really excited to talk with you about this game on the project that I keep teasing to everyone, which is our David Lynch project. I'm glad that I have managed to...
Are those...
Oh, shit. Play it. Before we start recording. Because I definitely have thoughts. Fuck. Oh, there we go. Oh no, you might need to fit in another replay of Control, a game that you love. Whatever will you do? Oh, fuck. What? Jeez. Jeez Louise. What the heck was that? Oh, dead. Dead! Shit. I don't know what that enemy is. And why it's getting me every fucking time. And I also don't know how to get down through there. Oh, what the fuck? From here? Seriously? Okay, I'm really glad I got the explosive launch skill. Oh, fuck. Okay, too high of a volume of explosives though. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Sorry, I have to go all the way back down there again. You're not wrong, but I also have Death Stranding 2 to finish and a wedding to go to next week on top of numerous other things to do, so it's like, how do? That's true, that's a good point. Well, if you don't have time to play it, you can always skim through this playthrough that I'm doing on like 2 times speed to remind yourself of things. When was the last time you played it? That's parakinesiology. I don't want to go into parakinesiology. Okay. There's got to be a control point down there, right? Those are toilets, but how do I go down to the labs? When it came out or a little bit after that? Ah, I see. Yeah, in that case, that's quite a while. Here we go. I have to go down here all over again. Sorry, you guys. Because I think it came out, what, like 2019 or so? To be fair, the How Long to Beat says the main story is only 11 hours. Yeah, I've been doing all the side quests, and so far I think I'm about like 9-10 hours in. Um, I think... Oh. Oh, that operates an elevator. Well, that's good to know. But that's because I'm doing, like, all of the side quests and stuff. I think if you only focused on main story, yeah, it wouldn't be an issue.
Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first.
What is it then?
Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
This work won't finish itself.
Okay, there has to be a control point nearby. Okay, so that mold explodes. I'm gonna assume that that's gonna be important. I really do not know what's happening with that one enemy. That I can't see. Where is that coming from? Where are you? Ah! Ah, shit. I don't know how, but I really want to do some kind of essay on brutalism, recontrol, and some other games. I love me some brutalism. I was talking a little bit about brutalism earlier. I think that brutalism is very interesting in the sense that, I'm sorry you guys, I'm terrible at video games. I'm so sorry for putting you through this. Please just let me go down to the bottom floor, thank you, without fighting any more creatures. Brutalism is like quite an interesting architectural movement in terms of its politics because it's very much associated with fascism. It kind of like comes out of like a fascist architectural sensibility and movement. I think eco-brutalism is also quite interesting because it's kind of like a nature's reclamation of the fascist landscape, yada yada yada. In the context of this game, that's definitely a thing, right, that's of interest because of this game's like political themes with the Bureau of Control and all that. I'm trying to think about if I have played other games where I can remember brutalist architecture being like a strong aspect of that. Control, given it's a government body, it's definitely leaning on the fascist side. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I think that the It's not just like an analysis of the architecture itself, but I think that the architects who innovated this style also potentially may have been fascists, but I'm not an expert, so that definitely could do with some fact checking.
Keep you very busy up there.
Shut up. Sorry, that was to Dr. Underhill. Okay, I'm just gonna try and focus on getting through this part as well as I can, and then I'm gonna... Fuck off. Shit. Oh, that's it. I fucked it. I fucked it by rushing too much that time. Sorry, you guys. I promise I will figure this out. Limited knowledge on brutalism, but the Krogan hospitals in Mass Effect 2 have that if you're looking for more example. Interesting. Thank you, Themborn. I just need to find a control point down there. Come on. The analysis of the aesthetic itself would be kind of like, you know, its grayness, its uniformity, its, you know, blah blah blah. It's like blocky, geometrical, symmetrical shapes. You know, those are all kind of like fascist aesthetics. I need to make better use of shield. It's definitely one of the things I'm learning here. Sorry, I'll catch up on chat in a second, you guys. Oh, come on. A number of council properties in London are brutalist, and typically today many of people would think of them as quote-unquote sketchy areas because of their believed class status, but a lot of them were designed with comfort and community in mind. A bit more on the eco-brutalism side of things, where these properties were meant to be covered in plant life, but then of course the lack of funding means these things fall by the wayside, buildings get dirty, and a perceived sketchiness grows. The Barbican is basically like an idealized version of that, but it's not a council property and it's ridiculously expensive to live in, says Fia. That's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Fia. I'll also read your comment in a second, Sparks V. Sorry guys, I'm doing so badly at this quest. Might not fit in with the essay topic, but Indica and Babdi also have some brutalist architecture, good games, although they pull a bit more from Eastern European and Soviet history for that. Nice, Sparks V, thank you for sharing that. I have not played either of those games, so I do not know. Just running down here. Thought it would be a good time to be good at video games. Oh, now you know that I'm the director. Listen, even if I don't want to be the director, I will use it to my advantage. If I can. Sorry again, I'll catch up with chat in a second. I just need to try and make it through this. Feeling a bit stressed out at the moment, you guys.
have Underhill samples.
I'm gonna watch that later because I'm afraid of being attacked from behind. Ah! Fuck. This is so annoying. I love Babdi. Same devs did Staffed Up, which also has a lot of brutalism, but by way of arena shooters. No problem. I think when done right, brutalism can be a comforting form of architecture. It's just important that that fascistic idea of minimalism isn't part of the design process. Yeah, I guess like it is important to be be asking yourself like, what is it about that style of architecture that some people may find comforting, because like, what is it about its qualities, you know, like considering the nature of those qualities. Because that isn't even say that, like, I don't enjoy brutalism and stuff like that, but I think I think to enjoy the aesthetic of brutalism, like, can't be divorced from the political implications of brutalism. Like, why do people find aesthetic pleasure or comfort from things like uniformity? Okay, well, I guess at least I got one of her samples, but damn.
Come to visit, Director?
So that those can't be used against me. Fuck. Okay. I think I need to go a little slower and steadier through that area. For what it's worth, there's zero shame in turning on assist features. Yeah, I might do that if this continues the way it's going. Arguably, Control also pulls from Eastern Europe since it's made by Finnish developers, although this technically takes place in New York. I guess there are more planets in Mass Effect has brutalist design, not just the Krogan world. Potentially, I would, at some point, I want to do a Mass Effect trilogy playthrough on the channel. It's been a while since I've played those games, so it would be good to get a refresher. There's Wolfenstein and Nier Automata. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think there's definitely something in that fear. I don't know if you just wanted to do it in like a personal capacity, but I think that it's like a very politically charged topic, so I think it would be super interesting in that way, if you did want to do it in that way, but if you wanted to do it like in a personal capacity, that makes sense as well. I don't think the shooting is even bad per se in this, but the enemies are so spongy, it's almost like Destiny. I've turned on assist mode by this point, if I remember correctly. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not necessarily struggling too much with the shooting, but it is like these enemies. And also the control point save feature. I got the mind control power a couple of side quests ago, I think. I think having the vantage point up here is pretty useful. But it is a bit hard to get them from here. It's also like the healing thing. It's not easy to heal. Fuck. Yeah, that is not good at all. Okay, well, there's one down, but it's like I don't have any friggin' health points left. Okay, well, there's like a couple. is not good. Took me a while to understand how the enemies were behaving here. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure I'm safe, and then I will catch up with chat again. Okay. I think I'm safe? Finally. Okay. For sure, for me personally, I actually really struggle with being in tall buildings because of a fear of height. So from a literal structural perspective, the presence of concrete brings me comfort in that regard. When it's brutalism, purposely as necessary function, like no kind of furnishings, I don't find that comforting. It's more so when there's a lot of plants and woodwork woven throughout it. So eco-brutalism. That's fair enough. Tangential example might be Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not sure its buildings are brutalist, but some of them are so tall, big, and overbearing that I feel it might be a good comparison point. Yeah, I don't think that there's brutalism in Cyberpunk 2077 really, but it is an interesting comparison point. I mean, brutalism is definitely an architecture of not necessarily of like late stage capitalism, but of like an earlier stage of capitalism. Unfortunately, these fungi being so spongy and hitting so hard doesn't leave much room for too many different straps. Yeah. I would actually be curious to see if there's any brutalist architecture hiding somewhere. I don't know how I want to do it, honestly, more just a general idea of when I've got the right idea. Yeah, fair enough. No, I think that sounds cool. So, yeah. Okay, it sounds like I've finally managed to kill everyone. Oh, well, spoke too soon. But at least it's the melee guys. Came down here earlier, right? So... found the television one here. Staircases, the pit, toilets. Okay. Okay, feeling a lot calmer now that there's... Jeez, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. I just need a control point, you guys.
Found one.
Fresh corpses, toilets, and the pit. Oh, fucking finally. We finally made it to a control point. That felt like it took fucking forever, but we made it.
This must be one of the samples.
Okay, near the pit and near toilets. Oh. I think that we went through a toilet, like, covered in mold earlier, so...
This looks like a good one.
Okay, so we just need near toilets. I'm trying to remember where the toilets one was. Wrong button. Picnic basket procedures. Containment procedure: item to be stored in a black rock paneled cell. Keep it away from lab animals when not in use. A simple wicker basket with cloth lining, no food items inside. The item produces a hypnotic effect that solely affects non-human animals, forcing them to congregate passively around the object. Animals from every genus and species that have thus far been tested are susceptible. Single-cell organisms do not appear to react to the effect. Item was taken to a forest upstate for testing. Results of the test provided contradicting data as to some of the attracted animals exhibited hyper-aggressive behavior. The exercise unfortunately resulted in redacted. Further testing should be restricted to more low-risk animal species with medical staff on standby. Hey guys. Thanks. Have you ever heard of personal space, you guys? Toilets. There we go.
This looks like a good one.
Then we got it.
That's all 5 samples. I should get these back to Underhill.
No thanks. You guys have put me through enough. I'm running away now. There we go. Never underestimate the power of running
You look
away.
like a woman with mold for me.
Okay, alright.
I found all 5, but I kind of wanted to eat.
The mold has that effect on some people. Likely due to the fact it's not actually mold or even of this dimension. I suspect it is the result of 2 incompatible molecular structures, one dominant, coming into contact. I call it mold or fungus because it's closer in appearance and behavior than anything else we know. Except perhaps bacteria.
She reminds me of my old biology teacher.
Did you happen to meet any more members of my ranger detail?
I didn't see any rangers. Just walking mold people. Unless...
Yes. If you found mold people, you found my rangers. I refer to the creatures as hosts. They, like other unwary agents, succumbed to the appetite. But that's nothing for you to worry about. The pill I'm about to make with these samples will make the lower level perfectly safe to traverse. It has the added benefit of immunizing you against the pit's toxic spores. Now leave me to it.
Give Dr. Underhill time to finish the antidote.
I need to get
Well,
going.
sure. Now we have a control
Try
point
not to
near you.
transport any spores outside the infected areas.
Okay, we'll do.
Are we finished then?
Down here.